Hi, I'm Charlie Hutton, international dressage rider and trainer. Today, we are going to be looking at this gorgeous combination horse and rider working through prelim 19. And we are going to see how we can get more marks and eke out those extra points, hopefully towards that 70% barrier. So we can see here the rider just about to enter and come down the center line. She's already in the arena at this point. She's done well, I think, to find the judge on the center line. And she's actually fairly straight. So we're on a good march. She did drift slightly there to the left before turning to the right. So that's something to consider, is just really working on your center lines and getting used to riding off the track more as well. But what I notice is a really lovely rhythm to the trot. So she's riding her 15-meter circle now. And I really like the swing this horse has through the body. She's fairly accurate through that circle as well. So I'm on quite a good mark for that one, I'd say. We've got our change of rein across the diagonal here. And what I'm looking for is that the horse is between both legs. So I like the fact that she rode a nice corner there and she rode clearly straight. There was no drifting off the line. And that's one of the most important things, is riding your lines. So not drifting in, drifting out. Now, obviously, we've got our 15-meter circle here to the left. And you notice a slight difference from left side to right side. So there's a lack of bend to the left as there was to the right. The right, there was some lovely bending, and the left, it was a little bit stiffer. So that will probably just get a 0.5 of a mark less. So that's something to consider in your training. And then that takes us nicely into our medium walk and then our free walk. Again, the bending on the circle line there will help get some extra marks so that the bend is around the inside leg. And then we see a nice transition into the free walk there. And that could be backed up with just a little bit more leg to get those hind legs coming through and stepping underneath. So a little bit more ground cover. I think she could be a bit braver there. I mean, this horse and rider combination is relatively new. I think they've only been together a couple of months, and I think they're doing a fantastic job. But there are some little areas that as they get to know one another, they can help grow in confidence and be a little bit more precise with transitions. So we see there that transition going up into trot, and then in preparation for our circle, possibly could have been a little bit more prompt to the leg, but a lovely transition into canter. And then the next thing there as a rider is to think about getting more forward tendency. So there's no collection involved at prelim. You know, we really are looking at working paces. So we want plenty of forward ground covering strides. And then we've got our circle here and our transition coming in between the center line, which she does very nicely. And this to the downward transition, there's very little loss of balance there, which is lovely. So you can see the horse really knows his job. We've got our change of rein. And the things to consider here in the canter work is we've got the transition over the center line on the first circle. We then go down the long side, and then we do our circle in the middle. So we've got a combination of circle line, straight line, circle line. And that really is, it highlights whether the horse is around the inside leg or not. So again, we've got a little discrepancy from left side to right side, but a lovely forward canter and really nice ground covering strides. What I really like is the balance this horse's canter. Nice uphill frame, and the downward transitions very smooth as well, which is super. And we've got our stretching circle here. So things to consider here is really being brave with allowing with the rein. Always gets a bit daunting when you're having to throw those reins away, but really be brave and let that horse stretch out, nose towards the vertical, and steering with your legs and your body as well. So she gathers up the reins. She does gather up the reins a little bit late. I think in the test it says pick up the reins at V. And that would just help the balance coming down the center line, because it's a long way down the center line to halt at G, which is actually very straight on the center line there and fairly straight into the halt. Quarters were slightly left, shoulders slightly right. So we've just seen a lovely prelim 19 test there. And what we're looking at, if we look down to the bottom of the test sheet, we'll see that the collectives there, and we'll see the rhythm, suppleness, and contact. And in rhythm, what we're looking for is consistency and fluency, and that they are the same on the left side and the right side. In suppleness, we're looking for the horse using their body with elasticity, so free of any tension, and that can be mental tension as well as physical tension. We see loads of that in this test. And then when we look at contact, we're looking to see whether the horse follows the rein. So in this test, we've got that stretching circle at V, and we see that the rider actually really nicely allows the horse to stretch, and the horse does so and follows the hand very nicely. My advice would be for this rider in this test would be to consider how accurate they are and to use the space of the arena as carefully as possible. So make her lines very, very clear and be very disciplined about riding your corners, riding your straight lines, and riding your circle lines. And that will help when it comes to moving up to the levels to novice, as well as the lines get a little bit more difficult.